Hey, it's Matt Sager, and today's the big day. HBO Max has launched. After much waiting and a lot of speculation and a last-minute acquisition of all 8 Harry Potter movies. Yeah, you can watch those on HBO Max right now. I can tell you this so far. I've established that HBO Max plays very nicely with iOS devices and Apple TVs. And if via those services through Apple you've been subscribing to HBO Now, you're easily, instantly, and very smoothly upgraded to the HBO Max experience. It's the same price, $14.99 per month. And there's a lot of content. It's difficult for me to know where to begin. I think I should start with what many people have been speculating about, probably what many listeners to my podcast are most interested in, the DC Comics properties that are available on HBO Max at launch. First off, Doom Patrol. And I have been speculating for some time that when HBO Max launched, it was going to simply acquire all of DC Universe's content. Just make a full merger, make the thing official, because I don't think that DC Universe has enough original content to justify being a separate streaming service, especially now with the launch of HBO Max. But they're not doing that just yet. I think AT&T really wants you to stay subscribed to both. So the only DC Universe show that's going to be on HBO Max so far, and they're claiming it's the only DC Universe show that they're going to have, period, is Doom Patrol. That said, what other DC Comics properties are available on HBO Max right now at launch? Start with live-action movies. You'll notice there are some pretty glaring omissions, surprising, very popular, much-beloved films that are not in here for some reason. But as of launch, we've got Supergirl, the 1984 film, the original Tim Burton Batman from '89, Batman Returns from '92, and the less beloved Batman Forever from 1995. Speaking of not loved movies, we've got Batman and Robin, 97. Also Steel. 1997 was a weird year for comic book movies. We've also got Catwoman from 2004, Jonah Hex from 2010, Green Lantern from 2011, Suicide Squad from 2016, also Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice from that same year. Representing 2017, we've got Justice League, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. Finally, for the year 2019, we've got Shazam and Joker. Those last two, along with Wonder Woman, are the really big draws. Interestingly, no Nolan Batman trilogy, no Richard Donner Superman films. Those are strange omissions that I'm sure will be dealt with in the course of time, but I would have thought they'd have launched with those movies personally. I'm sure it's some complicated set of contracts, options, purchases, deals that have been in the making long before there was such a thing, even in the minds of AT&T and Warner's as HBO Max. So some legal wrangling to be done, I'm sure, before we can get those movies. Hopefully it won't take too long. Animated movies featuring DC Comics properties. Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, a great, underwatched, and underrated movie from the year 2000. Batman Gotham Knight from 2008. Wonder Woman from 2009, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 from 2012 and 2013, respectively, Lego Batman the Movie, DC Superheroes Unite from 2013. That's different, by the way, from just the Lego Batman movie, FYI. Batman vs. Robin from 2015, Batman The Killing Joke from 2016, DC Superhero Girls Hero of the Year from 2016, Teen Titans The Judas Contract from 2017, also from 2017, DC Superhero Girls Intergalactic Games. From 2018, we've got DC Superhero Girls Legends of Atlantis, and another movie that is a lot better than you would think based on its name, based on the silly Billy graphics. Actually, a really fun movie, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And as I said, it's an interesting selection of TV series that they've got on offer with this launch of HBO Max. From the year 2003, we've got Teen Titans, the original Cartoon Network version. Also animated series Beware the Batman from 2013. From there, we go to live action, all from the year 2019. Batwoman from the CW, Doom Patrol from DC Universe, and Watchmen, the series that recently aired on HBO. So obviously coming to HBO Max, as we've been discussing a lot this past week, the Snyder Cut of Justice League is confirmed for release in 2021. Also presumably coming with time, as I said. The Superman films. I mean, even Man of Steel, the recent Zack Snyder film, isn't here. So any Superman solo movies need to be represented on HBO Max. It's bizarre that none of them are. Ditto Nolan's critically acclaimed, much-loved Batman trilogy. which actually HBO had been saying for some time would launch with HBO Max. So I'm certain there's some kind of corporate and or legal untangling needing to be done that hopefully will be made a priority so that this gets rectified soon. Other DC comic shows which actually are available on DC Universe. So all of my premonitions about DC Universe making a smooth transition into being absorbed by HBO Max at launch clearly have not come to pass, and there's a big mess as a result. So shows that are on DC Universe that are not on HBO Max, there are a ton of them, including Super Friends, the 60s Batman series, 70s Wonder Woman series, also the DC Animated Universe, Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, and of course, they're claiming that the series that will remain DC Universe exclusives are the live-action Titans and the very good Harley Quinn animated series. I believe that with time, those series actually will move over to HBO Max simply because I don't think DC Universe can sustain itself. I think that if AT&T/Warner/DC could keep us subscribed to both services, making some of these series DC Universe exclusives while making others HBO Max exclusives, if that were tenable. I'm certain that they would do it, but I think DC Universe, which already does not have a great subscriber base, is going to see it plummet, frankly, as HBO Max takes place in the center stage. So I would watch for some of these shows, really all of them, to make their move over to HBO Max sooner than later. In the meantime, if all we've got is Doom Patrol, if you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend you watch it. It's the best thing I've seen on DC Universe. And if they only did port one show as they did, they picked the best show to represent what DC Universe has to offer. It's the best comic book TV show I believe I've ever seen. It actually does justice to the incredible Doom Patrol comic, whether you're a fan of the original 60s My Greatest Adventure books or the incredible mind-warping Grant Morrison series of the 90s. This does justice to both series. It's got an amazing cast. It's beautifully done. If you have somehow not seen it, I strongly recommend it. Ditto. I touched on this before, but Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is a shockingly dark movie for an animated show. It's also excellently done, amazingly well cast, beautiful animation, and an incredible watch and deeply emotional. More details on HBO Max to follow as I continue watching all the news and spending the day kicking the tires and giving the service a shot myself. I'm really excited. I've got HBO Max loaded on my phone, my Apple TV, my iPad, and that's going to be how I spend much of the day, and I'll be reporting on it over the week. Also, today is New Comic Book Day. It's Wednesday, May 27th, and during this pandemic and possibly going forward, New Comic Book Day is kind of a mixed bag. Like, for DC Comics, much of New Comic Book Day actually takes place Tuesdays now. But everything that's available this week in comics is out today. Some of it was released yesterday. The rest, the bulk of it, released today. So I'll be commenting on that as well. I can tell you one good pick that I've read and that I can actually say for sure, if you're a fan of the Avengers, do check out this week's Avengers number 33. I've not been a huge fan of Jason Aaron's run on the series. This issue really changed my mind. Particularly if you're a fan of Marvel's Moon Knight character, this is kind of a can't-miss read for this week. It's also one of the only new comics I've read, but it grabbed my attention very quickly. It's a fantastic read, and while I'll almost certainly have more new comic recommendations over the next couple days, I can vouch for that one. Thanks as always. Please check out the episode description for my social media links and handles. If you're checking this out on YouTube, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and share. If you're listening on a podcast app or network, please subscribe there, leave me reviews and ratings, and I'll talk with you real soon.